Ambika Soni, Congress senior Congress leader, also speaking. Let's just listen in.
Flag issues पर you can discuss fearlessly and frankly. Delegates को चिट्ठियों में लिखा गया था कि आप अपने इच्छा अनुसार बताइए किस सेशन में आप हिस्सा लेना चाहिए, प्रायोरिटी करिए. कोशिश प्रयास हम लोगों की तरफ से ये किया गया है कि हर एक को उसकी पहली इच्छा मिले, लेकिन लोगों ने कुछ ज्यादा लगाव संगठन राजनीतिक चुनौतियों पर दिया, तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको कुछ लोगों को दूसरे और तीसरी चॉइसेस दी गई. जैसे कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष अपना उद्घाटन का भाषण समाप्त करेंगे, आपसे अनुरोध है कि आप अपने 5 ग्रुप में ग्रुप 1 इमर्जिंग पॉलिटिकल चैलेंजेस जिनके अध्यक्ष के आएंगे हैं, वो पहले मंजिल पर हॉल नंबर 1, ग्रुप 2 इमर्जिंग सोशो इकोनॉमिक चैलेंजेस सामाजिक आर्थिक चुनौतियां, उसके अध्यक्ष श्री दिग्विजय सिंह जी हैं, ये भी पहले मंजिल पर हॉल नंबर 2. ग्रुप नंबर 3 महिलाओं का सशक्तिकरण, गीता दास जी इसकी अध्यक्षा हैं, और ये हॉल नंबर 3 दूसरी मंजिल. ग्रुप नंबर 4 भारत एंड विश्व, इंडिया एंड वर्ल्ड, अध्यक्ष श्री आनंद शर्मा जी हैं, और ये हॉल नंबर 5 ग्राउंड फ्लोर पर. और ग्रुप नंबर 5 संगठन की ताकत, इसके अध्यक्ष श्री गुलाम नबी आजाद हैं, और ये सेकंड फ्लोर हॉल नंबर 4 में होगा. हम लोग सब ये भी अनुरोध करेंगे अपने अध्यक्षा जी से श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी जी से, प्रधानमंत्री जी डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी से और श्री राहुल गांधी जी से कि वो 5 ग्रुप में जाएं, हिस्सा लें और अपने निर्देश हम लोगों को जरूर दें. इस पद के साथ आपका धन्यवाद. और मेरा फख्र है कि मैं सोनिया गांधी जी को निमंत्रण दूं कि ऐसी अध्यक्ष जिन्होंने 2004 में हम सबको सिखाया कि संगठन का महत्व सरकार से ज्यादा होता है. संगठन की आवाज करना देश की कदर करती है, और जो सोनिया गांधी ने हमें सिखाया आज हम देख रहे हैं कि राहुल गांधी जी उसी तरह संगठन में काम करना पसंद करते हैं. सरकार बाद में सोचेंगे. आप सबका धन्यवाद.
Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, colleagues on the dais, friends. A warm welcome to all of you at this Chintan Shivir. These gatherings are essential from time to time. They help us to review and renew, to reinterpret and reaffirm. They enable us to introspect and look ahead, to clarify and consolidate our position. They provide a forum for an honest conversation amongst ourselves on our strengths and weaknesses, on where we have succeeded, on where we have failed, on the threats we face and the opportunities we must grasp as a political party. This interaction is different in at least 2 respects from our previous Chintan Shivir in Pachmari and Shimla. First, it is taken place when we have been in government at the center for almost 9 years. It is also taking place when we are not governing in a number of states and when we face serious challenges in states long considered our bastions. Second, the last 9 years have been a period of tremendous economic growth, social change, and technological innovation. New aspirations are manifesting themselves. They call for new responses. There is yet another special dimension to this conclave, which has been mentioned by Ambika ji. A significant number of participants are from the younger generation. This reflects our priorities and resonates with the demographic reality of our country. So, we have before us 5 subjects to be discussed. First, the political challenges we face. Second, the emerging social and economic concerns that we should take note of and respond to. Third, issues relating to continued discrimination against and atrocities on women and children, and what more must be done for their empowerment. And fourth, India's changing role in a rapidly evolving regional and global environment. And fifth, and last, matters relating to the party organization itself, especially those that have a bearing on our electoral performance. Now, without wanting to anticipate your deliberation, I would like to share a few thoughts with you on each of these subjects. Now, the Congress has many distinctive characteristics, and there are compelling arguments for the Congress way of thinking and the Congress way of doing things. We are the only pan-Indian party, the only political party with a visible and vibrant position in every village, in every basti, in every mohalla of the country. We have a proven record of accomplishments. We appeal to all sections of society. We articulate and champion the concerns of all, but especially of the weaker sections, Dalits, Adivasis, minorities, and women. We have always given the highest priority to the interests and concerns of our farmers and agricultural laborers. Inclusiveness for us is not a political ploy only to win elections or to be in government. Inclusiveness is anchored in our convictions. It is not the outcome of any compulsion, as it may be for our political opponents. We are the only party which believes that development and economic growth on the one hand, and social harmony and social justice on the other, are two sides of the same coin. But while we continue to be the nation's preeminent political party, we must admit that we now face increased competition and inroads have been made into our traditional support base. There are some states where we have been out of office for too long, and although I do believe that being in power is not the sole purpose of political activity, this does have an adverse impact on our morale and organizational ability. In states in which we are in alliance, we have to strike a fine balance between respecting these alliances and ensuring that the party rejuvenation is not compromised. Now, since 2004, the Congress-led UP government under Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji's leadership has introduced truly revolutionary programs and enacted historic legislation flowing from our manifestos. But in some states, the party has not been able to translate this into political support. I hope this will be discussed and concrete suggestions will emerge from the discussion. Economic growth over the past decade has been impressive. This has had a major impact on reducing poverty. But our fight against inequality and poverty is a continuing one. And this is why I believe it is important to sustain our poverty alleviation program. There are success stories of development in state after state, but it is also true that while the footprint of achievement is expanding, there are still parts of our country which remain backward. And it is also true that while the center, our UPA government, releases huge financial resources to states, the impact depends significantly on implementation at the local level, which is often wanting. Our party must remain in the forefront in calling for urgent remedial action. We see various protest movements across the country relating to land, forest, water and livelihood, tribal and gender issues. Our party must proactively take up these concerns. Around 1 crore youth seek productive jobs year after year. No other country faces such a challenge. Mahatma Gandhi in Narega has demonstrated and is demonstrating its utility in rural areas, but the country has to pay far greater attention to skilled employment, especially in semi-urban and urban areas. This requires us to be pragmatic in encouraging investment, which is the only way our employment goals can be achieved. It is the lack of employment, amongst other reasons, that thwarts aspirations and also fuels frustration, crime and violence. Just a little over a decade ago, when we were not in government at the center, we had organized in Delhi a Mahila Sashактikaran allegation, and we had at that time prepared a specific agenda for action. Our UPA government has taken this agenda forward. New programs have been launched, new laws have been enacted. The women's self-help group movement has received a huge influence. As we all know, there are more than 12 lakh selected women representatives in institutions of local self-government. But I must say, with the greatest anguish and pain, that discrimination against the girl child continues. Atrocities on women, both in urban and rural India, are a blot on our collective conscience and a matter of great shame. The way we still treat widows, the prevalence of female foeticide, even in economically prosperous regions, the trafficking of children and women, brazen sexual harassment, these are all very disturbing trends that should shake us and awaken. Gender issues are fundamental. They should be of concern to all of us. It is not just the Mahila Congress or women's organizations that should be in the forefront. The entire party must understand them and bring them to the heart of our political activity and change mindsets. India's foreign policy has always had a vision of a country occupying its rightful place and exercising its unique influence in world affairs. That place and that influence will be significantly enhanced by successfully overcoming poverty, improving our economic performance, deepening our secular values, strengthening our democratic institutions, and engaging constructively with the international community. Better and closer relations with our immediate neighbors will not only make for regional peace, they will also have a positive impact on some of our own border states. However, let us be very clear. Our dialogue must be based on accepted principles of civilized behavior. We will never compromise on our vigil and preparedness to deal with terrorism and threats on our borders. Let me turn now to some pressing or computational matters. Now, is it not the case that we have squandered many opportunities that people are willing to give us simply because we have been unable to function as a disciplined and united team? In states where we are out of power, especially, we should be coming together, setting aside personal ambitions and egos, and working cohesively so that the party triumphs. Why do we forget the simple truth that in the party's victory lies the victory of each and every one of us? And unity will not come from past declarations of intent. It has to come from within. Unity is the cry of each and every worker of our great organization, and it is our sacred duty to respond to it. We must build leadership at all levels, a leadership that is proactive and that is not afraid of moving forward and taking up issues and programs which highlight the concerns and aspirations of the people. Performance, not patronage, must be the ladder of advancement in our party. And seeing so many of our younger colleagues here, I am tempted to say something on a subject which has always bothered me. And this relates to our lifestyle. Celebrating weddings, festivals, and happy events is one thing, but what of the lavish and ostentatious displays of wealth, pomp, and status? Does this not beg the question, where is this wealth coming from? I hope that we will take this seriously and come up with suggestions and norms that we may all accept and adhere to. We have to recognize the new changing India, an India increasingly peopled by a younger, more aspirational, more impatient, more demanding, and better educated generation. This is a natural and welcome outcome of a rapid economic and social change that has been brought about by the success of our programs to educate, to empower, and indeed to unshackle the oppressed and disadvantaged. Our youth is getting more assertive. It wants its voice to be heard. Across the length and breadth of our country, our people are expecting much more from their political parties. Aided by the tools of the modern world, television, social media, mobile phones, and the internet, today's India is better informed and better equipped to communicate. The laws that we devised, such as the right to information, and the technology we facilitated, give the people the ability to seek more from their elected representatives. Better delivery, stronger responsiveness, greater accountability, and ultimately, demonstrable integrity. Our citizens are rightly fed up with the level of corruption that they see in public life at high levels, but equally with the corruption they have to deal with in their daily lives. This is a phenomenon, a churning, that we must understand and continue to respond to. We cannot allow our growing educated and middle classes to be disillusioned and alienated from the political process. So friends, we have much to think about, much to deliberate, much to discuss. I want all of you to speak your mind, to be free and frank in whatever you want to say. We are here on serious business which will determine our future. And when we are done, we must go forward with a clear and unified sense of purpose. We must go from here recharged and reinvigorated. And so I end by saying, let us go down to work straight away. Thank you. Jai Hind.
That the agenda for the Congress is based on 4 basic issues. The first being political challenges, the second socio-economic issues, the third being discrimination against women. You heard her talk about that. She spoke about how there needs to be awareness created and sensitivity towards the gender. And then the fourth one being the need changing role in the rapidly growing environment. Sonia Gandhi there along with the Prime Minister. This is the beginning of the Chintan Shivir, the 3-day function being held in Jaipur. All eyes will be on Rahul Gandhi. What role will he really don as far as the 2014 elections are concerned? The Prime Minister to be addressing the people, the members of the Congress later as far as the Chintan Shivir is concerned. Political challenges being top of the agenda. That's what Sonia Gandhi has come out and said, along with 4 other issues that she has spoken about. All eyes will be on who are these right allies that Sonia Gandhi's people are talking about. Jairam Ramesh coming out, the Union Minister coming out and saying there's a need for right allies as far as the 2014 elections are concerned. Well, in 1998, it was the very same Congress president who came out and said that there was no need for allies as far as the fight in elections is concerned. But now there seems to be a compulsion really to have allies along with them to fight the 2014 elections. All eyes will also be on Rahul Gandhi. Will he really don the role that his people are asking for, be it the youth or the veterans of the party? They've all come out and said it's time for him to take the number 2 position in the Congress party. Secretary General or working president is what they are asking him to take over now. Digvijay Singh coming out and saying, well, he will decide when it's time. But yes, the party is echoing and wanting him to take over very soon. Sonia Gandhi there reiterating her faith in the Prime Minister as well, saying that he has led the party for the last 9 years rather, and then goes on to talk about how important it is for reforms also to take place. You've seen a slew of measures being taken by the party, headed by the Prime Minister, be it the FDI, be it the rail hike, be it the recent diesel price hike, over which the allies have been lambasting the government. A lot of people coming out, echoing the need for Rahul Gandhi to take over the mantle. That will be one of the highlights as far as this Chintan Shivir is concerned. A 3-day meet in Jaipur. All eyes will be on whether Gandhi Sayan will, who has been the reluctant prince till now, agree to take over the mantle. What's also ironical is that Sonia Gandhi did speak about the emancipation of women and the need to go ahead and help this cause. But what's really ironical is that within this Congress itself, you have an MLA's husband really, Jalish Khan, who has been absconding since 2010 for the last 2 years. We also have Dev Ankur joining us on the phone line from Jaipur. Dev, coming to you, quickly take us through the key takeaways from Sonia Gandhi's speech there at the Chintan Shivir. Dev, if you can hear me, can you quickly and very briefly take us through the key takeaways from Sonia Gandhi's address to her party members? We seem to have lost the line there with Dev Ankur. We'll come back to him. But all eyes is on this meeting. It comes at the back of that huge thumping win for Narendra Modi in Gujarat. And now the chorus is only growing for Rahul Gandhi to be the face of the Congress, to take over the mantle, the reluctant prince really. Kartikeya Sharma, Deputy Editor, joins us on the phone line from Jaipur. Kartikeya, you were part of that briefing by Sonia Gandhi to her leaders, the Congress leaders. Take us through the key takeaways from what she had to say.
See, the key takeaway is that the Sonia Gandhi has said that there should be a greater understanding of organizational discipline. She also talked about ensuring that the political challenges are taken care of. She also said that let's work together when it comes to those states where there has been
there has been no Congress party for past 15-20 years. She was also very categorical, Vedika, when she made the point that she feels disgusted and a matter of shame that on women issues the party has not done enough. And on Pakistan, I would say that she made a very relevant point, and she said no discussion or interaction or a deal can take place with Pakistan unless and until the country meets the civilized term of interaction.
Right, Kartikeya, do stay with us. We also have Javed on the phone line with us, Senior Editor. Javed, coming to you, it's the first time that Sonia Gandhi has actually come out and broken her silence as far as Pakistan is concerned. It seems to be the line that both the party as well as the government is really taking, talking tough as far as Pakistan's offer is concerned, laying down the preconditions before this can really move forward with the neighbouring country.
Yes, the Congress party as well as the government appear to have decided that they will not go by mere words, that they will not rush into and take up the offer that has been made by Pakistan. They want to see tangible changes on the ground, and therefore they're going to watch the situation for a couple of days or maybe even longer than that before they decide to respond to what Pakistan has offered. This is in line with what the Foreign Minister has said. This is in line with what the Prime Minister said, and the party is now echoing exactly what the government has said.
Right, coming back to Kartikeya, who's live from Jaipur with us. Kartikeya, the big question really is, she's spoken about political challenges being a part of this agenda as far as this entire convention is concerned. The biggest political challenge perhaps is the need to find the right allies before 2014.
You see the draft recommendation of the political challenges which is being headed by A.K. Antony and Chidambaram and leaders like Sushil Kumar Shinde and Sheila Dikshit are also there, categorically states that the alliances are here to stay. Congress cannot fight elections independently or alone, and Congress must ensure that the party should be leader of a pack whereby a formidable alliance for the election can be built. It will also go on to say, because that's the statement with Jairam Kent, that there are certain structural anomalies, that there should be proper, the party should be prepped up properly before the elections, rather than moving from one crisis to another or trying to deal with elections maybe a month before it happens. They should be planned in advance. So I would say that's where the most important leaders would really talk to each other. All the chief ministers are there. Most of the senior cabinet ministers are part of this committee on political challenges. It also talks about looking for new alliance partners in a number of states. For example, the draft specifically talks about Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand and Bihar.
Right, Kartikeya, but the other big challenge that the Congress is facing as we speak is the allies coming out demanding a rollback. So pressure really growing on the Congress to take back this diesel price hike while this convention is on, while this Chintan Shivir is on.
You see, there are a couple of things which are happening simultaneously, and which it's connected to the question you asked me. There is great amount of disenchantment in the younger section. They feel that the Rahul Gandhi should be given a larger role and redesignated on 20th, which is an open AICC session. You see the session which is taking place here, the Chintan Shivir, it's a closed session, which means that there are not more than 300 people inside here. The general session of AICC calls for 1,300 people, and they come from every part of the country, which is like a big Congress or the complete Congress family. They feel that the Rahul must be redesignated there because that's the best opportunity. And AICC sessions don't take place daily. They are organized once in every 2 or 3 years. So this is one complication or sort of a simmering tension which is there between the seniors and juniors. But then I would say the priority of the Congress president was, which she categorically mentioned, that we must look into the new democratic profile of the middle class with which they had failed to connect.
Absolutely, Kartikeya, a point that even Sonia Gandhi went on and said and spoke about really, that there's a disconnect really with the urban class, especially now with the slew of measures that are being taken by the government, disgruntling the middle class that we're talking about.
You see, Sonia Gandhi made two joint points. I would say they were part of the two sides of the same coin. She said that sort of atrocities which we witness against women in urban and rural areas, that needs to be tackled. And secondly, she feels that this is a new aspirational class. It aspires for more. It is younger. It wants more from the government. And she said that the organization must reconnect with them. And this is one issue which the committee or the subgroup on socio-economic challenges would take place or would take up. This group is being headed by Digvijay Singh, and it has got number of members, roughly 50 to 60 members, and primarily most of them are from IYC. And specifically this group will take up the issue of Jan Lokpal, what was the response of the government, what should organization should have done at that particular point of time. And there would be a discussion also as to how they should have had dealt with the media at that particular point of time.
Right, Kartikeya, but what's also interesting is the fact that Rahul Gandhi, as we all know, is a person who's always not been for allies really, to come out with, the Congress really spearheading the elections, be it in Uttar Pradesh where we saw that huge debacle really take place. But now you have voices from within the party saying that, well, it is a reality, it is a coalition compulsion that we have to make peace with.
You see, what the younger generation wants is that Rahul has started to call the shots. And if you ask me how, I'll say 2 months after the debacle in Uttar Pradesh, Rahul reorganized the party by sending representatives to key 4 states, including Andhra Pradesh, to find out as to who the candidates should be for Lok Sabha elections. Then Sonia Gandhi made Rahul Gandhi chairman of the campaign committee. Then Rahul has also undertook an exercise to rebuild the Congress party in certain states where they are not in power for 20 years. For example, Gujarat. Now, what the younger generation wants is that if the man is calling the shots, if he is the one who is going to take over the mantle, and if he is the one who is going to be the face of the campaign, why can't the party designate him as working president or vice president or secretary general, so that a clear message goes out that he is the leader under whom we are going to fight the elections and he is the prime minister candidate. The fight is about doing away with ambiguity. It's not about his role or the weight he has. It's about doing away with that ambiguity and stamping it with the authority of the Congress president.
Also, Kartikeya, it seems that the Congress leaders now are extremely nervous at this point in time, given the thumping victory that Narendra Modi has witnessed for a 3rd consecutive term really in Gujarat, and now this want and this chorus is only growing louder, and it seems that the Congress will really have to come out with a concrete decision as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, despite the Prince really, Rahul Gandhi, the Gandhi scion, really being reluctant to come out himself and say, all right, I'm ready for the number 2 position.
I think UP defeat in Uttar Pradesh has taught Congress party and Rahul in particular 2 lessons. One, the stake or the credibility of the leader, of the top leader, cannot be staked for a single election.
Alright, Kartikeya, do stay with us. We also have the BJP reacting to Jairam Ramesh's reaction.
देश की स्थिति यही है कि सरकार कुछ भी कर ले, 14 में मनमोहन सिंह, सोनिया गांधी, कांग्रेस और यूपीए का जाना तय है और एनडीए और बीजेपी का आना भी तय है, क्योंकि उसके कुशासन, उसके भ्रष्टाचार, उसकी महंगाई से इस देश की जनता पीड़ित है और बदलाव की आहट है। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि 2014 में लाल किले पर भाजपा कार्यकर्ता झंडा फहराएगा 15 अगस्त। धन्यवाद।
The BJP there really speaking on expected lines. Going back to you, Kartikeya, who's still live with us from Jaipur. Kartikeya, it seems that the Achilles heel of the Congress as of now is the need and want and this hunt really for allies before 2014. They've really burnt bridges with the TMC. They really don't know what stand SP will take. It depends from issue to issue really perhaps when it comes to Mulayam Singh and his party. So this seems to be the critical juncture where there needs to be clarity as far as the ally hunt is concerned. Who will really be on board ahead of 2014 for them?
Yes, you see, this will be the domain of the political challenges group. The real pressure on A.K. Antony's committee would be as to what should the approach be. The 2003 Chintan Shivir and Simla redefined Congress party by allowing the Congress president to enter into small alliance like Telangana Rashtra Samiti. She went into an alliance with DMK, a party which openly endorsed LTTE, which was behind Rajiv Gandhi's assassination. Those were the tricky issues and were the tricky days. But then there was a resolve that we would reconfigure a party in a way which would get them support in those areas where it is absent. Now here the real challenge is what to do in a state like Bihar, where they feel that the Lalu is a spent force, but they might have a future with the Nitish Kumar Yadav. What about getting into an alliance with the opponents of Shibu Soren, who heads Jharkhand, JMM in Jharkhand? What about getting the old Republicans back in Maharashtra? These are the tricky issues the Congress will deal with, because ultimately this time around the market of alliance partners is saturated, and for the Congress to rework itself, they have to find new partners. And these are the issues which the A.K. Antony committee will look in. They will not get into the specifics of name, but can stamp the authority of Congress President by saying that we allow the state or general secretary of the party to enter into new alliances, and that would be patch breaking.
Right, stay with us, Karthikeyan. Let's take that up also with Javed Ansari, a senior editor who's joining us on the phone line. Javed, coming to you, like I said, it seems to be the Achilles heel as of now for the Congress ahead of alright, we also have Mohammed Salim joining us on the phone line. Mr. Salim, coming to you, how do you really react to Sonia Gandhi's speech out there? She's come out and made a lot of statements really, one of them being that it's time really for the Congress to come together ahead of the 2014 elections, and she seems pretty confident as far as her leaders are concerned that it's going to be a Congress win again in 2014 for them.
That's up to the Congress leadership to judge. I'm nobody to comment on that. But I'm happy that at least Congress Party's High Command is addressing the issues the country is confronting. And secondly, they're trying to connect with their own rank and file. Chintan Shivir, or if this exercise is being their brainstorming session, it's good for the Congress Party. Because normally in the functioning of the government, we see there is no political input. The decisions being taken on the question of price rise, gas cylinders, where is the politics? Where is the political economy? And the way the country is slipping towards out of Congress, so that is the main part to be worried with. So it's good that they find out that the women's security and safety is a concern, the question of youth is concerned, corruption. It's good, the welcome vision that Congress is realizing and recognizing that corruption is an issue. Otherwise, since the new liberal economic policy is being pursued, they think corruption is part of that, and the collateral damage is there. So, price rise and corruption is inbuilt in the new liberal economic policy. So, if Congress is addressing the issue of corruption, they have to think of the scale of cooperation and why this scale has increased for the last 2 decades, and why the Congress fellows are also involved, why in every aspect of government there is corruption. And just recognizing the problem is not at all, it's a beginning, but it must be addressed and it must be resolved.
Mr. Salim, another question for you is that there have been a slew of reforms really being administered by the government as well as the Congress. This seems to be taking the Congress away from the connect really with the urban class. Would you agree with that?
I think the economic reforms has not benefited the country as a whole. A section of upper middle class and the rich and the super rich and neo rich have been benefited. But it has alienated the poor folks, the middle caste, middle tribes, OBCs, minorities, rural folks, agriculturalists, farmers, landless laborers, and unorganized workers, slum dwellers, jhuggi-jhopri dwellers. So if Congress can recognize that economic reform only is not the solution. If you want to reform, you have to have reform in the social sector, you have to have reform in the police reforms, the electoral reforms, the criminal law reforms, and without that, only for the sake of the super profiting, if you address the reform issue, only the multinational companies and desi multinational companies will be benefited. So this alienation is already there, be it a rural or